For the first time in nearly a decade, the price of LEGO Star Wars Advent Calendars has changed. Set number 75340 with 329 pieces will sell for $45 in the US instead of the normal $40. The only other Advent Calendar pricing changes were in 2012 and 13, where in 2012 they increased the price from $40 to $50. It didn't sell very well, and the next year they decreased it back to $40, where it's been until now. And with that $5 price increase, you certainly still expect to get a great experience, and I think this Advent Calendar just might deliver one of the best ever, except for one small section of it that we'll get to. But of course, Advent Calendars are 24 separate days, so you can open one every day leading up to Christmas. This one in particular does have a splash of summer on the box, and it tied into a LEGO Star Wars Summer Vacation special on Disney+. The back of the Advent Calendar box gets a tad more spoilery, showing off more of the builds and minifigs that you'll find within the certain days, but without spoiling exactly which day you'll find them in. One of the things they changed a while back was moving the flap that drops down from the front to the back, so there's just a couple tape seals on the back here. Apparently my knife is not very sharp. And in cutting them, it releases the flap, which you might have to put some weight on just to get to stay down for a little while, and then should be good. But the art of it is beautiful, with an AT-AT Santa hat and snow all over it with decorations on Endor. It's just a beautiful vibe for the inside cover art. I'll open up day one here just to show you how it works. You push in on the tab and you pull right out, and then the instructions are on the inside of the flap. I'll build up all the models and we'll take a look at the minifigs right now. The first minifigure you'll find in the Advent Calendar is the Clone Commander, Clone Pilot, Mustard Trooper, whatever you want to call it. It can double as really anything. I mean, just use your imagination, right? This figure is like a good-looking figure, but we all know the drama surrounding it. It shouldn't be in the set. It's the third appearance of this figure in about a year and a half, and like, we could have had literally any other Clone Trooper in this set and it would have been better. I just don't understand why this one, other than to say F you to the fans. So that's the Clone Trooper in there. It's dumb, but like, yeah, I don't know, man. Following up that Clone Trooper, you'll find a regular old battle droid. I feel like these appear every year in Advent Calendars. I don't know that, but it just feels like we get these a lot. The first good minifigure you'll get is this Christmas sweater C-3PO. He is gorgeous, and I really love the design they went with him for the Christmas sweater. I really hope they keep doing more figures like this. These holiday style figures are just the best, and it's something that's fun and unique to these Advent Calendars that they can't really get away with putting in any other set. So always fun to see them do something fun where they can, and this is definitely a great case of them taking advantage of that ability. Speaking of having fun, Darth Vader won't be having any at the beach because he hates sand, and that joke makes this minifigure super ironic. I love it for that. Now he's got arm printing, so he's got that normal he's got arm printing, the normal Darth Vader helmet mold, and the normal Darth Vader legs. However, on the torso, he does have a very fun beach outfit on, like sleeveless outfit, and so the base of the print is Darth Vader's actual body, but on that, the t-shirt shows off what looks like the twin suns on Tatooine. However, the big one in the front is actually a Death Star pointed at another planet, which I guess we can assume might be Alderaan. And then the finer details on the torso show off a couple of TIE fighters in the distance as well. That coupled with the palm trees, I mean, it's just awesome. Oh, the back. I didn't even realize the back was going to be printed. I hadn't looked at it. Wow, that's really cool too. It's got TIE fighters. The Death Star again, and I guess this must be on Scarif because that looks like the Scarif Tower thing. But there is the face for Vader. We'll close that up, and included in the Vader minifigure bag was this ball, like beach ball or volleyball, I guess. It's really a Lego soccer ball, but this was included, so that's cool. There's a litany of Hoth builds included, and so of course they have a Snowtrooper included to kind of match that. It's no different than the Snowtrooper you'll find in the battle pack, which to me makes it a bit disappointing. Like, I would like to get something more special in these sets, or harder to get, right? Like, this is a cheap access point, and these are already available in a $20 battle pack. This Luke Skywalker has what might be the best complementary build, unless you think Vader's complementary build is better in this set, so he had to be here, and he looks awesome. He's the same Luke Skywalker from the Tauntaun Microfighter, I believe. He does have a double face underneath, which is kind of dumb because it shows through on the other side, and I think that looks particularly bad like that. Like, I wish they would just do without the double face, so not great there, but otherwise a very fine minifigure when just looking at it from the front. No matter how good the other holiday characters are, there will always be one that trumps trumps all, the holiday GONK Droid. This one's very Santa inspired. He's got the Santa hat as well as a giant beard. It's just another one of those fun characters for a LEGO Star Wars set that's unique, and I love it for that. Countering C-3PO's ugly Christmas sweater with R2-D2 on it is R2-D2 with an ugly Christmas sweater of C-3PO. And this one does have a back print. You'll remember they just introduced back prints for astromech droids earlier in the year with a couple of different R2-D2s getting back prints. They neglected to put a back print on the R4 unit for Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter, but then they brought back prints for the original trilogy again here for R2-D2. So just me trying to get my jab in at the designers for cheaping out on the prequel sets, but this is a very nice R2 figure here. Again, just perfectly matching what we have with C-3PO. So it's a really good figure selection for an advent calendar, and getting 4 holiday themed figures is amazing. That's definitely what they should be focusing on for these advent calendars, because where else are you going to put a holiday themed figure that you can't get anywhere else? The advent calendar. So that should definitely be a focus in sets like these. If I could change it, I'd take out these 3 figures and replace them with something else. They just, they don't do it for me. But these are awesome, and overall, I think this is just a pretty good figure selection for an advent calendar. Now we're on to the micro builds, and generally this year the micro builds are very good, starting with the Republic gunship. This one, of course, paired with the clone trooper. The builds go in a very nice order, as do the figures, where everything's kind of grouped by era, and then like if it has a figure that kind of seemingly goes with it, it goes like right next to it numerically. So I thought that was a fun way to do it as far as the order goes. But this gunship, I don't know, a little funky looking to me. The wings look a little wide. It's a micro scale though. It's never going to be perfect. Like, it's not the UCS one, obviously, where they can really play with the sizing and angles a lot more. But yeah, it's a micro scale gunship. This one's going in a bag just like every other micro scale set I have like this. I really like the Droid Tri-Fighter. I think they did a great job on this one in particular. It also has the thrust at the back, but yeah, you've got like the 3 fins essentially or whatever, and it's just a fun build that really comes together there. You can see in the front you have like the blaster and it can spin around, and I think here we have an Acclimator class cruiser. It's pretty straightforward, nothing crazy going on here, honestly, although interestingly enough, inside of here they did get a green stud in there, so not sure why they put a green stud in there, especially when it can be seen kind of through the ventilation. Why not just stick with gray, because it's kind of supposed to be gray or whatever, but like, I don't know, just weird quirks. Now, for some reason, I thought they did this last year. They didn't, the Bad Batch shuttle, and it's really good micro scale. I really love the look of this one. It just came out really nicely. You can actually hold it by the fin like this, unlike the full-size version, so that's kind of cool. I also really love the landed mode. I think that it just closes up really nicely like this and looks very much like its larger counterparts. The next 4 builds are Tatooine based, starting with Luke's Landspeeder. Of course, they released a UCS version of this earlier this year, and so we get a micro version in this advent calendar. This might be like the 4th micro Luke's Landspeeder we've had in an advent calendar. These are pretty common, although this one is notably very good. With its brief appearance in the Kenobi show as the toy T-16 Skyhopper, makes it into this toy set here, and it looks pretty good. Very happy with this one. It's very nice to get things that kind of loosely tie into whatever's going on as well, so that's nice with the T-16 Skyhopper. Really fun angles on this one. Very nice build. It's not Tatooine if you don't have a moisturizer. It's better than the weapons racks of years past for LEGO Star Wars, and I'll leave it at that. I believe this is the V-35 Landspeeder, same one we got in the Master Builder series Cantina. This is pretty easily one of my favorite micro builds for a simple reason. It's based off an actual LEGO set. Now, it's also based off the scene from Episode 4, but like, I love that it's essentially a mini version of a physical playset that they release. Usually when we get mini versions of things, right, it's a mini version of a ship. We don't get mini versions of scenery Lego sets like this, and it's something I'd love to see more. I don't know, maybe we do, and I'm just a little bit crazy with that. This one in particular just felt special to me. It's got the mouse droid, it's got a stud shooter weapon here you could take off if you want and use the stud shooter with any of your troopers, give it to the snow trooper or whatever. But yeah, this is pretty cute and fun. You can drop the mouse droid in there, I guess, if you want, but it's supposed to be the scene where Luke and Leia swing across, but yeah, obviously the other side isn't represented. Another great micro build in this year's set is the Darth Vader Sandcastle. This is a highlight for me. Absolutely super fun. Not really based in anything that's actually canon, but that doesn't have to be. Like, this can be a fun set like that, and I appreciate when they take the ability and opportunity to do that. The next 2 belong together, no question. From Return of the Jedi, we have a B-Wing build, which I'm not all that impressed with. I think it looks a little bit awkward at times, but like, it's micro scaled. Like, that's going to happen. But it is still a B-Wing build that's going to complement complement the TIE Interceptor very nicely here. I think the TIE Interceptor looks better. However, you can't set it down flat so that so it kind of annoys me. Like, I wish it had maybe like a little stand for this. I don't know. Just something extra there would have been nice. But it's a very good looking TIE Interceptor, and it goes nicely with that B-Wing here, so you can have them chase each other around. I think kids would very much enjoy that aspect of this. Figure we may as well lump in our 3 Hoth builds together. We'll push these 2 out of the way a little bit. This cannon here is beautiful. Really love the look on this one, and it can spin around, so you can hold it down and spin it. That's pretty cool. Definitely a nice feature. And then we have this one here, the Hoth dish turret. It's got a little lever at the back, and like just generally very good look for this guy here. You can move it up and down just a little bit too, and it looks like I didn't have it pushed in all the way. But then the little micro build of the ATST, I don't really think it steals the show. I don't even think it looks all that great, but they did release a Hoth ATST earlier in 2022, so it kind of makes sense to have it here in micro scale. And then this build is amazing. This is one that actually works with minifigures. It's the Hoth Wampa Cave, and just like in the UCS Hoth set, the Wampa will not actually fit through the hole, so the Advent Calendar and UCS Hoth have something in common. But what can happen is with these studs at the top here, you can take your Luke Skywalker minifigure and place him on there. So just like in episode 5, Luke gets caught up there, you can have him caught up there, and that's a really fun way to display it. Usually these Advent Calendar builds are just too small to interact with minifigures, but in this case they were able to integrate it, and that's something I would love to see them try to do a bit more in the future. I have no idea what else could create something as fun as this one, and especially as iconic as this one. But if you guys have any ideas, drop in the comment section below. I'm kind of curious what else they could do in this vein, where you have a micro build but it still works with a minifigure some way, somehow. The 2022 Advent Calendar to me is definitely one of the best in recent memory, but it's also one of those things in LEGO Star Wars where you gotta take the good with the bad. There's some amazing figures, and there's some very questionable choices as far as figures go, and I wish that we could have just had slightly better figures. But again, take the good with the bad and you'll be pretty happy with this one. I don't think the $5 price increase is all that big of a deal. I think that if you or a family member or a child you know really likes LEGO Star Wars, they're gonna love this Advent Calendar. It's got so many fun builds from all different eras of Star Wars, and that's really all you can ask for with an Advent Calendar. I honestly think of it as almost a must-have set just because of the Darth Vader with Sandcastle build. I just think stuff like that is fun, and we should be supporting that as LEGO Star Wars fans. If you guys do want to buy this, you can check out my affiliate links in the description below. It'll help support the channel and cost you nothing extra in picking up this set. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and you can check out more LEGO Star Wars 2022 set reviews on the end screen now.